Hello everyone to the second part of Tonpuusen by ChunmanTV. Let's see what we have here. We are facing two 7 tons and an 8 ton. We have a south bill. It looks like if we want to open it, it has to be like an outside hand. We have in two pairs. We can't really call. Like if we get the Tanta, it's perfectly fine. We are really looking for open hands or hands that we can open for. Sounds so cool. I kind of have to just got the tune. We also have only like a 5 second timer. 5 second plus 5 seconds. It's Tonpuu fast. Um, like it's just how it is. Like you either play hands-on with 10 second timer or you are playing Tonpuusen fast. We are still pretty stuck here. Like 1, 2, 3 sounds good sounds. Like the 16, 5, 8 man isn't that great here, but like we just have to play some efficiency here. We can keep the 1, 2, 3 alive, but we are losing out on the Tora acceptance with this 8 man cut. It's just Shimakiri. We have safe tiles in the south tiles if someone presses the Riichi button, but the hands currently look quite slow. We are not moving towards the outside, so that like 6-0 would be interesting, but I don't think that would be really good. I don't know who has the fastest hand here. It might be Shimotsa, but I don't know what they're doing. Uh, but anyway, like Dorman seems to be very slow. 5-man, perhaps some speed there now. Can we get something? That is something. That is nice. We have still very bad saves. This 8-0 is dead, and then we have a Benson here. I kinda want to go like the lead green for Kaiten, but it's a perfect shape call with the 2-2-3 man with the pawn, which is kinda scary, but I don't know what they have. I don't know what they have with all those pins it discards. It's not going to be an on each, is it? Because the honors are all dead. I think the south are quite dangerous, or like if it's like a Honisha, but the 6-3 man card kinda makes if you like it's just Rakuhai, but the Rakuhai are all dead, or like I'm missing something. Toy Toy. Technically, we are just hoping to catch a Skaten here. We are not pressing the receive button. We don't see the 9-1 Tora. There's a threat that Simons has a very big hand here as well. On Tora. We only lose 2000 points. If we press ET, we would lose 1000 more points. It really sucks to lose lose points in Tonpuusen because the 4th rate is so high. Like with like dealing into 2k here. Like you have a like also like I don't want to say 30% 4th rate. You have like almost a 30% first rate when in Hansam and you have like a 2k lead in East 2 already. It's actually insane. It's really like you really don't want to deal into Tonpuusen. Like even if it's like 1 or 2k, it is massive in the grand scheme of things because you have sometimes only 4 hands to play, and if you can't win, you pretty can't win. We are hoping to get a Dora. We will pawn the east, but it's like it's just to move the hand forward. It's not like that we are in a position to win. We will not go the 2-5 man here. We will only go the concerns. We really need like a 9 man here game. I don't know, like in Hansan, like it's a marginal goal for sure. In Hansan, I don't know if we would call that. But in Tonpuusen, Katen, just being Tempe at the end is also we have a lot of points. We are keeping a bit of like safety here. We have now 5 blocks, but triple constant is not the greatest. It's really not what we want, but now we can actually start calling. We can keep the Tora. Like we can just fold out if we just don't get Tempai, but like if we pair up a Tora, we can even go Mangan levels because we have a Sabo 3-man, 9-man, and then if we get the 9-man, we have 7-7. Unfortunately, we didn't keep the white second. We would have a white second pair here with a 3-3-4 man shape, but it's just like 1-3, so here can put we can write the 6 up, but there's really no point. Toyman claiming fears here with a Manganshima. Like you are basically guaranteed if you Manganshima in Tonpuusen, especially on the Tilo. It's E something, guns on Forso, Penson or guns on Terima. Oh, my tune bill. My tunes. Perhaps 8 cell would be the card because 7 cell would, like the D5 accepts the 7 cell anyway. If we get like a lower pinch, it would be quite nice as well. Wait, it's headless. It's headless now. It's Uncle headless. If we have like a Toriso Uncle and then we have the same console and the ramen or the 3 man 2-5. The 4 so has been once cut. So it's not going to be a good wait. What can Shimotsa have actually? They can technically have like North Toratari, the North Uncle there. But we really can't do much here currently. We are down like 2k. It's not a lot, but I think we are still going to fight a little bit. 5 so into 3 so, 9 man, 1 man. The shapes, even Uncle Headless here, isn't that great. It's just not. It's K-bait of the one, so it's also K-bait. Or like it's also Sushi, I mean. Okay, that's a Mangan run. That is kinda good for us because it kinda means that the fourth chances of ours are quite low now. We can still get lost, don't get me wrong, but like if someone kills in a Mangan, they are basically getting fourth in a Tonpuusen game. We have too many pairs here, but I don't see any other cards. Perhaps 6 out there, but I don't see like any way to win the hand here. Like the Deutsche perhaps. We can try to get a normal hand, but we are still having 3 pairs with almost no flexibility. 1 pin would be nice, each would be nice. We will just cut 3 so here for the Rankan, eliminating one of our pairs. Just playing the 2 pairs shape. It's kind of unfortunate that we dropped the 6 hotel. I think we go 9 pin there to 7 pin is connected to the Pinchu shape for the 6 pin console. You should be careful about the Pinchus here. The Pinchu seems to be expensive here on the left. And ideally we want to move to open Tandao and not discard this 7 pin, but like we can also just battle Ori because we really don't have any shapes here. We really don't have anything here. If Toyman pushes a 2 pin to weapon, we can't deny the 2 pin. We are E-something, but still very bad. Like it's still very bad. I don't know if we are taking the Riichi here, if we get Tenpai. I probably don't, and Kami just thinking here, 1 pin, they probably Tenpai, or I suspect a Tenpai in the pin soon, not a 6-9 man. We have like a 6-7 weight in the pinch for the tanky, and then we have a 7-man weight here in the manse. And we are not going to push the pinch, there's just no reason to. There's just absolutely no reason. We can just Shimakiri the Tora here, it's just passed, it's now 4 times cut. Like the only value is like the Honitsu here, and the other players also probably don't have value. Kaiten calls, we can call pins 6 pin 2-5. The north should be pretty safe, right? 5 Scott. Nani? Okay. If it gets into Chikoku Tanki, like we can install the game, I guess. 18 push still. We are Tempai again, but 14 is not. We kinda messed up here because we can't push here. We can't push, and it's going to be 6 man here. Like we don't have any safe tiles. This is Tempai, but the 4 is not coming out. We will probably deal in with this 8 man though. Do we have anything better than this 8 man? It's garbage off. It's garbage off. It's garbage off. One Scott as well. We can cut Kaiten here. If we draw a pincer, Kami has high day. That she also shifted the high day to the Tilo and not to the Riichi's, which is kinda good for us, I think, but Man CK kinda here at 6-9, 4-7, and 3 ping Tanky here on the right. Like Pincer was just too scary. Like I don't think we there was a reason. Like this 4-pin was really stuck in our hands. We really want to pump, but we can't. We might be able to cheat the Tora, or like we will cheat the 6-pin for sure, but I doubt it comes out because it's Tora. If it was a regular 6-pin, it would be actually way better for us. This is E something. The best is 1 Scott, 2-pin is live. But if you get the 6-pin, it's probably like going to be Riichi. But we can go west here for Tonpuu Tora on the 6-pin. If we get like anything else, like Tamaton, we should enable calling because the 6-pin is still a call with 2 DC6, 1 bonus stick here. That is not the right one. Not the right 6 and not the right social as well. Oh my god, give me my Tempai already. If we get Nomi here, we probably don't Riichi. Don't you in. Okay. If we get 7-18, I think we just Tama this. If we get the 3-4, we're kind of forced to. I don't think we are taking the Tora weight. I think we are just conservative. Well, not conservative, but like we are going to donkey pounds the 7-pin for something better. For the 3-4 now, it's not Furiton. It's just pretty good here. If we draw a 5-pin pack, we will go for a Ramen, but if we draw the Tora, we will be Tora donkey, unfortunately. 3-4, nah, we are not going to go for that. We are losing out on the Sansaku here, but if we draw the 5-pin pack, but it's fine. If we caught, then we would have summoned the 5-man, it would be very funny, but like if we had like a 7-pin Tanky, we would have cheated and then summoned the 5-man for 3900 plus the pot here, but like I'm on a pretty good Tanky here. 2 Scott weiter rekken, 9-man from Shimotsa. I don't know if Kami has slightly a Pinsu weight, probably some like 3-4 pin as well. Like they have just got an AK5-man, AK5, so there is not much that they can wait on. Like 36 is like the only thing left, but we can dodge both of them. We can dodge the 6-pin, but just going Futon for Kaiten. You're just pushing this 7, so not the real star for sure. With this AK5, so let's see. 6-man, 6 souls, can put second Kami. Shimotsa should be out. And Toyman, I don't think they really want to push. I don't know, Teitashi or Shimokiri makes a difference still, probably not. It's it's a 7-pin, wait, 7-man, what? Like, why do they have like a 5-man in their opponents? I'm confused. We will check the log afterwards. We can open for 1, 2, 3 by the way. They had like an 8-man pill when they got the 5-man, and then they TO'd the 6-man, and then they got the 8-man, I think, what comes on 7. But anyway, we could slide. We could slide the 7-man with the 4-man because the 4-man was safer, I think. We have an each open as well. 2-pin is a really interesting. Or the 2-pin will be good. I'm not sure about the other tiles, so we kinda lose out on the each here. There is still like the Samsung is pretty awkward here as well, but it allows us to open. It allows us to open, which is pretty nice here with 2600 in the middle. Simultaneously is going to open. We might have to choke the Manju tiles because we really don't want to feed Shimotra here at the board with the Honichin the Tora suit. Gonna be nah, it's not gonna be Sansekunda, right? I'm kinda glad that this video is longer than the previous one. Do we 2-pin is dead? There's no Sanseku. So we go for 7-pin console instead of the 2-pin. If we had a Sanseku or something, we would definitely keep the 2-pin console. There's a Riichi across, and we kinda are forced to go 1-2 so here. But this 6 is Nakasuchi, so it's not. It's just going to be pushed. Like if we get Tenpai, we get Tenpai, and then we can fight. But otherwise we are just falling. This Chorizo is almost toast. This West is slash cut. This can put against the Riichi. It's really tough to fold on the West anyway. I think we are just enabling calling just in case. Tournament can still have a constant 8 once cut. It's the Vessel is pretty safe. Like I really want to fold, but if we can maintain shapes, we are maintaining shapes. Ichi 1 Tora, collecting all the sticks is like massive, from 2-6 to 6-2, increasing to 3600 I think. 1 man. You still have a Tora here, but like it's not going to get loose. Like the idea here is we are just not going to win the hand, and like Shimo-chan needs Mangan Shimo, and the Wanso is really hard to lose. So I think if we just have a Yori here, it's much better than winning one hand for sure. Because one hand doesn't put us outside of the Mangan Shimo range next hand. So let's see, we need 12, we need 2500. So he basically needs Riichi Pinful, but there is also a bonus stick, so we kinda need 12 full. So we need more than 2000. That is nice. 2500, 2900. So we need more than Riichi Pinful, which we have now. So we can actually reach. If we just had Riichi Pinful, it would be more difficult for sure. I think I keep being the 7-man, but I'm not sure why. I guess Headless is still okay. We thought the 8-man Headless is what we are going for. The 7-man is now Kenputsu against Shimo-chan. 3-man Teitashi. We are not really afraid because the Tora is really hard to lose. We can go for 5-8 instead of 2-5, but I guess we just keep the 7-man here, Kenputsu against Shimo-chan. I think we are just doing that. If we Riichi, Shimo-chan has like a Manganron chance as well, Manganron out as well. But I don't think we will Tama this Pinful Ipeko. Because if we win, we can technically get second or first as well, but it's getting quite late. Perhaps Tama. I think Riichi is fine. If we just had a Pinful Nomi, I would probably just try to not win and just Tama and then break my Tenpai on a later turn. This is like we want to unreach here if we could, but here are waiting on Sashikomi. No, Sashikomi. People are going to Sashikomi here. We are screwed. We are like 1v3 here because Stormen can just steal into Shimo-chan and then we are lost. Or we might be lost. Did we just throw? No, we didn't. They got the Mangan Shimo anyway with the Aka. It's like it's difficult there for sure, but let's just check this hand from. It really sucks. Like if the Riichi puts us in 7 Riichi mode, if they didn't hit Ura, or if they summoned not the Aka, they wouldn't have enough because they still needed 1,500. So they got really lucky here. They really got lucky here on the Aka, and there's 36. He couldn't deal in here to Shimotsa. This is so stupid. It is incredibly stupid, actually. They needed the Aka. But anyway, they had a toy toy here, actually. I was like, it's a toy toy, but like they could have also gone for like Onichi with this 36 mom. And I knew like it's likely having some Toras as well. It is 1 month Tashi. Like I kind of suspected something there like a Toiter, but it's really difficult to put them on Toiter because it can't be Toiter Onichi, and then we kind of forced to deal in on dispense on Teriman, and then here East pawn. It's very weak pawn. Into Honson I probably wouldn't go, and here we just keep the 9 man for our Mangam chance, and then here the Riichi on 6 man Kansan, and then the Ipatsima locks in the first place basically. And here we are Isanden, headless Isanden, but we are facing a Riichi. It's 5-8, and then I think folding is fine. There's Shimotsa open here with the North pair as well. And then the Mangan Tio in, and then fixing the ramen here, and then the 4. The Kamita is still very far from any hand here, but the problem is that we don't know the speed. I know the speed is slightly weaker in Tonpuusen most of the time, but like I don't want to push this 7 pin. And now they have a very good E something right here, and like if it was Hanson, like it's like the thing in Tonpuusen, people will be calling way later, and Toyman just doesn't care with the Riichi painful here. And Kamits are kind of breaks, but they have a 5, AK5 there. And then they got back into Tempai. Shimotsu has 3 pin Tanki with 1 Tora, but they need a Feru. And Kamits also get Tempai here with the AK cuts. Is it Nakasuchi? No, it can still deal into Toyman 2-5 so. And we didn't get Tempai. I really thought Kamits had a pin to wait here. Wait, what the heck? What happened with Kamits? What? Oh, I see. Now they got a 5 or 5-8 pin for Tonda Tutora. I wouldn't have thought the 8 pin, to be honest. I wouldn't see the double 6-7 shape at all here, but I like pins. It looks the most scary, but I put them on a 3-6 or 4-7. I think I would just steal in on the 8 pin here almost all the time, so we got lucky. And they got the 6 pin, and then they switched to the Tora here. They switched to the Tora 3 here because they don't want to drop Tora into my 7-8 card, which is fair. They upgrade to Mangan as well, or like and then they didn't got the 8 man here. They got the 6 man for the 7 man, which we already dropped here. But we actually have acceptance here for the 7 man with the 4 man slide. Because they know that they probably can't win on the tour, so the 30 towers for the 7 man is better than the 2-6 months. And then here the 6 man. Like if they were still on the Strabo with 6 months 6 pin, I would just deal in here. Like I wouldn't need a 6 month Strabo. I wouldn't with this AK cut. I wouldn't put them on a 6 month Strabo. We got lucky here. Or like for pin would technically also be Nakasuchi, but was 4-pin better? 4-pin was pretty safe. I have 4-pin is the cut here, it's Nakasuchi here. And if they have like a 357 safe in pin suit, they would take the Tora console most of the time. They can have a 35667 safe, and then we would be dead here as well. The 6-man was just Kamputsu here. I like the 6-man is Kamputsu, but if it was an 8-man and the 6-man wasn't Kamputsu, I think I would just steal in with the 6-man. I don't think there was any choice. And then here, there's a Honitsu with the Tora here. Look like how far they are from any hand. It's typical Tonpuusen. Kamicha has Toitoi. Just Toitoi Nomi. And then they are forced to push everything. And then they fold on the 4-pin, which is like Mataka Suchi here. The Fuaso is pretty safe, I must say, but and we on last and thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.